good news. We're back at it again. Still scrolling is on the feed. I am your host. Okay, I'm trying to think of a good intro. Okay, I am your host that totally will not be auditioning for the Apprentice Reboot, Justin.
And I am the host that will be hosting the Apprentice Reboot. It's a very good reboot. That's what they're saying. This is probably the worst Trump impression ever.
I hate
Derek.
how memeable he is. I hate how
Yeah.
memeable he is. But that's a
Remind
whole
me to
thing.
send you guys one. I got a really funny one, which is hilarious. I'll send it to you guys later.
Oh gosh, but we have some good news. We have a new host joining us because Steph couldn't join us today. She's too busy probably being the reason why Key and Peele broke up, but that's a whole other pod. I would like to introduce our new third host. Ladies and gentlemen, Erica Kirk. Erica, you have to introduce yourself. Erica?
Say hi.
You know what? It didn't work out. Anyways. That's our first story of the day.
Oh, man, that was goofy.
Oh, my gosh. We're talking about Erica Kirk. We're talking about Key and Peele. We're going to be talking about The Apprentice and some Spider-Man news, all that good stuff. But our first story, Erica Kirk is not happy with some certain people in the media. This showed up on your feed, so I'm curious to hear more about it. Derek, what happened?
Yeah. So post White House Correspondents' Dinner alleged assassination attempt, Erica Kirk, who was in attendance and was rushed out of there crying after the whole ordeal, she went onto her late husband's podcast, which is still running, by the way, and hosted by not him, obviously. She went on as a guest host
Is
to
she
talk
not
about
the
her
host?
experience. No, it was one of the other guys that was co-hosting with him. So she went on there to talk about her experience with the media, with journalists, and that she was at the White House Correspondents' Dinner in order to basically confront the media about the way they've covered her and talked about her and stuff like that. It very much was an attempt to kind of clap back at the haters, so to speak. And I'm sure some people thought that was the case, but really it was very much like a automaton, who has never spoken before in their lives, talking from a teleprompter. No charisma at all. No riz.
No riz?
Yeah.
Okay.
And then that segment that you just played of her staring into the camera like that, just breathing, that was part of it. That was part of it. For whatever reason, it was not edited out. I haven't seen the whole thing. I've only seen clips of it, so I can only assume she kind of crashed out, and that was post crash out, taking a break, catching her breath. And honestly, I'm not upset at her doing this, right? Like, do your thing, it's your platform, good for you. I'm more upset that this type of low hanging, B-list propaganda works.
You
like
think
her
it's
fans, her
propaganda?
supporters.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, because she turned it into the media's indoctrinating our kids, right? This works. This works for her fan base. This works for MAGA. They're like, yeah, look at this totally normal blonde woman telling me what to believe. And it blows my mind that people take this at face value and believe it.
Here's the thing, though. Please don't cancel me. I genuinely feel bad for Erica Kirk. I do.
Sure.
Okay, but here's the thing. If your loved one died in a mass shooting, and then you find yourself, after, I don't know, evangelizing his death, caught in another mass shooting yourself, that is scary. And that is actually terrifying.
Yeah.
I have empathy for that. However, Erica, after going through this twice in your life, maybe we can rethink the strategy of your words, or maybe offer a different solution, and maybe the current path that we're on,
Yeah.
or your team is on, that the right side is on, maybe that there's a different solution to this that you could try, because the current solution that you're on is not working. And to blame anyone on the radicalization, I tell you, it's not the left side. I'll tell you that now.
Yeah.
That's a
I,
whole
it
other
is
thing.
it is exhausting. Like you're right. You do empathize to an extent
I do. Like,
because
that is
more
actually
so
scary.
more so than empathy, I feel exhausted because I'm
Mm.
constantly being told by MAGA and the right that I'm radicalized and that I'm, radical left scum and all this shit. And it's like, guys, I'm radical because I want healthcare and because I want people to respect each other and like to just be decent human beings. Like, come on. Come on. And it's exhausting having to defend such a like stupid point that they try to make over and over and over and over again. And she's a big part of that. She maybe wasn't before, but she definitely has stepped into that role. And it people I think would have empathized with her a lot more if she wouldn't have discontinued the grift. If she wouldn't have just
You think this
gone
is a
onto
grift?
stage. Yes, Turning Point USA is one big grift disguised as like
Interesting.
freedom and liberty and America, yay. And really it's just subscribe to us, listen to our podcast, buy our merch, make me rich at the cost of
Interesting.
like, American democracy and critical thinking skills in the youth. No biggie.
Interesting. It's interesting to hear your definition of a grift, because a grifter to me is someone who doesn't believe what they're preaching and it's like still doing it anyway. I think they genuinely are that hateful.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
they're
yeah,
saying it with
sure.
their chest. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
Like,
Yeah.
ooh, anyways, best of luck to you, Erica Kirk, on your podcast journey. Maybe you can teach us some tips, on how to like.
I mean, she probably could. It's a successful podcast.
Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. We get hats that say like scrolling, all black, black
On white.
embroidered lettering.
Hell yeah. Oh, no, 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 no. What if we do red hats
Absolutely.
with white letters
No.
and it says make scrolling great again?
Oh my God. Let's not say we did. Let's not say, you know what?
Let's move on.
I
Let's
missed
move
the
on.
time when a red hat was like socially acceptable to wear. Remember when red hats
Yeah.
were cool? Remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Anyways, speaking of things that used to be cool, Derek, you haven't heard this news,
Oof.
but are you familiar with Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key?
Of course.
We now know the reason why they broke up. And it
Oh.
came from a comedy special that came out on YouTube. A snick of it was just posted on TikTok, which made me like watch the whole thing to see like what they were saying, right? And it's this comedian, her name is Akila, and she talks about, she uses code names, so be aware, about how she had a deal to make her own show with Keegan Michael Key, and something happened. I don't want to spoil it because I'm just going to play a clip of it, but I am mind blown. But anyways,
because I don't want to get sued. He is, and I don't think this is too shady, I think it's true, the less successful half of a comedy duo that was prolific in the 2010s. I think their code names could be Lock and Banana. So I answer the call, and it is from Banana's wife. She says, I'm just calling you because I wish someone would have warned me. Because I brought a text. This is from Dumois, an anonymous blind item that someone submitted. They said, since Locke was hosting SNL, I wanted to say, whenever I see him, I can only think of his wife. She has a bunch of food allergies. And she had an allergy attack about a eucalyptus plant by her table at Tribeca Grill. And then, in parentheses, on the celeb sighting list. acting like she couldn't breathe. The plant was fake, and I showed it to her. She just said, oh, and acted totally normal after that. He was very nice about it and apologized after. He left a good tip. Bizarre, though. Bizarre, though.
You're muted.
Anyways, she goes on to say that while she was writing her show with Keegan-Michael Key, his wife turned herself into an executive producer and gave awful notes and would represent them in the meeting, and ultimately led to the show being canned because like also the strike was going on and everything, right? And apparently Keegan-Michael Key's wife has done this with Jordan Peele and Keegan-Michael Key's careers, in that when she would try to produce or stick her nose in it, she would then fuck it up, and then everyone like turned on them as a duo, which means they had to break away and do stuff, right? And Chelsea Peretti is the person that warned her, right? And the fact, and she goes on to say in this special, right? She compares her to this one actress who got murdered by his wife, right? Because it kept ruining his career.
Phil Hartman.
Yeah, Phil Hartman, right? Yes.
Mm-hmm.
She compares him to she compares Keegan-Michael Key's wife to Phil Hartman's wife, and how much she's messing with his career.
Yeah.
And this is insane. This is insane because now we know why they don't work together anymore. Yeah. And I want to know what the world would be like if they stuck together. One of the great comedic duos of our time got ruined by someone's wife. Derek, are you as we're surprised by this as I was?
Yeah, so I was deeply sad for a moment because I was struggling to keep up with the code names, even though they're very simple code names. And I thought Chelsea Peretti was the bad guy for a moment, and I was so sad. I got so sad at that. So it's good to know that it wasn't her. It wasn't Jordan Peele's wife, Chelsea Peretti. This makes total sense because they kind of just disappeared as a duo completely. Even though they were like, you know, boys for ride together, die together, bad boys for life, but in the comedy sense. I think what's especially devastating about something like this is arguably they had a better show than Chappelle's Show.
Oh, wait.
And I think if that style of comedy, that type of satire, and like, edgy but not so edgy that it's just that the wrong people are liking it for the wrong reasons. I think if they would have been able to push that forward together through the years, I think comedy in general would be a lot different. And dare I say, the world. We might have elected Hillary, right, for 2 terms, right, and we'd have like, I don't know, Pete Buttigieg as president now. Like, who knows? Sky's the limit. We might have universal health care at this point.
Jeez. Okay. It's insane because Jordan Peele went off to make Get Out, which is about a black man with an evil white woman wife.
Whoa. Girlfriend. Okay, girlfriend.
Listen, you know what I mean? But like later on in the special, she talks about how Locke's wife threatened Disney, also known as the Vermin Company, as she calls it in the thing. Production on her pilot came to an immediate halt. And finally, following a month of torturous waiting, the Vermin Company tells Hughes that they gave Locke and his wife a payout to leave the project. But Hughes would have to start from scratch to write a completely new pilot, as everything that the Locks supposedly worked on was legally off limits. Oh my gosh. I hope I really hope this is true, but also I'm shocked she said this in such a public way. This is such a cold shot that
Yeah. That's the shocking part of this is that like, she just came out with it. Like she just effectively me too'd his wife, and I mean that in a good way. Like the way people were finally speaking up about like their abusers in the Me Too movement. Like if this is true, this deserves to see the light of day. If this is true.
So would you say we need a good hashtag for this then? If it's Me Too, hashtag locked up. Oh, oh,
Well,
oh!
yeah, that's a good one. Hashtag break the lock. Nah, locked up
Break
is better.
lock. Break the lock. I like locked up. Get it? Anyways,
Yeah.
I thought this was insane. I'm so sorry because I am a person who watched Key and Peele and was devastated that they don't work together, and now we know the exact reason why. And thank you, Chelsea Peretti, for warning her. You know what? Shout out to Chelsea Peretti.
Shout out to Chelsea Peretti. I love her so much. And I know that's super parasocial and weird, but I don't care. That's how
You know
much I
what?
love her.
Like props. You know what? We'll give her a gold star for this week.
Yeah. You're
but
welcome on the show anytime, Chelsea Peretti and Jordan Peele. And you know what?
yeah,
Even Keegan-Michael Key. That's it though.
not
Just
his
them two.
wife.
No. She might just try and be a permanent host and executive produce the show.
Damn. Anyways, speaking of executive producing a show, apparently they're going to make a Apprentice reboot with Donald Trump Jr. at the helm, and Amazon is going to make it. I guess we have to review this for SVU because everything's becoming state media.
Oh, no.
Yeah, let's look at our weekly recap. Anyways, Derek, what is the likelihood of you tuning into this, and how successful do you think it's going to be?
You know what? I'll tune in. Okay, so you know how the TikTok algorithm is super weird now? And it's very much like, don't mention Israel. Don't mention Donald Trump. Don't mention that. I'm going to post this clip on TikTok, see what happens. If the Apprentice reboot happens, the algorithm might favor it.
Interesting.
So,
okay.
I might tune in just to monetize that bad boy, and get those clicks. And I'll trash it. I'll be talking shit the whole time. But algorithmically speaking, might be getting those clicks, might be getting those views. We'll see.
No, Derek, don't give it clicks. Okay, here's the thing. I think this is unfortunately a sound idea if I was an evil business exec. But at the same time, I bet you money you have about maybe 1.5 years to make this show. Because once he's out of office, it's like I think everyone's
Nobody's
throwing the
gonna care.
baby out with the bathwater.
Yeah, for sure.
People are so ready to be done with this era. Even people on the right, like they're so ready to be done with the Trump era.
They'll never admit it, but they're over it.
And so you got like maybe 1 or 2 seasons of this for it to work. You know what I mean? That being said, I think unfortunately there's enough people that voted for this family that would actually tune in. And if I had to put money on it, I don't think this is going to be on Amazon. I don't. You know where I think this is going to be?
Fox
Paramount
News, baby.
Plus.
Oh.
The Ellisons are going to snatch this up. I guarantee it.
It's a sound business idea. It's right up there with canceling the diverse, youthful cast show set in a superhero universe in favor of a 1950s Nazi era superhero show where you can just be racist and it's just part of the setting, part of the script. It's about as sound as an idea of those. And actually I made a whole video about that. And people were like, oh, you're reaching. Oh, blah, blah, blah. Trump didn't cancel the show. And first of all, there's a whole conversation to be had about like speaking in like expressions. Like, obviously, I don't mean Donald Trump called Amazon and said cancel the show, right? But the Trump's America that we live in, where racist people are more comfortable and a little bit more kind of catered to and that sort of thing is happening. Yeah, Amazon is making moves in regards to that. It started with the Melania documentary, and it's ending with an Apprentice reboot.
Listen, it went on to make. Hold on. Amazon MGM previous September made the documentary Melania for $40 million and spent another $35 million on global marketing for the film. The movie has grossed $16.6 million.
16?
$16 million dollars.
You know
People are
what's really
ready for
sad?
this era to be over. So maybe it's not a good
Yeah.
idea. Maybe because like people are just ready for this era to be over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did
That
you?
definitely wasn't profitable. Hold on real quick before I forget. That definitely wasn't profitable, but Anthony Mackie's new movie, The Desert King, was even worse. It had a
Really?
$150 million budget. It didn't even make $500,000.
I didn't even hear about it until people were saying it bombed. I'm like, where
Yeah,
did this
like
movie
that.
come from?
Yeah. I heard about it the same way I heard about You, Me, and Tuscany, or what was that movie called?
Oh, I loved You, Me, and Tuscany. It was so
Yeah,
good.
yeah. I haven't seen it yet, but I heard that it's really good. But it's one of those movies that it's just like, we don't gotta market this. Like, it's a rom-com. It'll make the money that it needs to make. Whatever, no biggie. But there's with an action movie like with Anthony Mackie that you spend $150 million on. I don't know. You should market that, man.
They really set him up to fail, if we're being
Yeah.
honest.
Yeah.
I think that's what happened. But anyways, speaking of being set up to fail, not still scrolling, but the internet got their hands on some script pages from Spider-Man Brand New Day, specifically the opening scene. Derek, did you get a chance to look at these script pages? Because I think it's going to tell us a lot about it. We have a new kind of AI for Spider-Man's suit called EV.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? We also have, I think it's describing a lot of what we saw in the trailer, specifically the Ned and MJ on the phone on TikTok or whatever, and Spider-Man is following them. We get the new Spidey suit, specifically details about that, how it needs to wrinkle. Peter's got a fabricator, but it's like a 3D printer, which I have thoughts on that I'll go into. But off the top of the dome, Derek, what do you think of these script pages as I pull them up really quickly?
What I like most about it has less to do with what's in the actual script pages, but more so that it confirms that the trailer didn't really give us much, which is good. I like that. I think trailers nowadays either do too much or don't come out or just get it wrong completely, right? I think the Clayface trailer is the first trailer that's come out in a while that you're kind of like, oh, wow. I'm not speculating. I'm not trying to think deeper into any of this other than like, this is going to be a scary, spooky, fun time. The Spider-Man
we didn't
trailer.
talk about Clayface, did we?
We did not. No. The Spider-Man trailer gave us so much, and everybody's like speculating, oh, and this and that, and this Easter egg and that, which is normal when it comes to like superhero movies. But it got to the point where it's kind of like, the plot, what's gonna happen, right? He's gonna have like some sort of come to Jesus moment with himself. He's gonna therapize himself with the Punisher. He ends up in a jail. Maybe he gets hurt, and then everything's gonna be probably fine at the end of the story, right? The script at least shows us that a lot of what we saw in the trailer happens in this very scene right here. From the montages to the Ned and MJ moments and stuff like that. So that's cool.
I do think it's slightly odd. Not odd, but Spider-Man, I think Spider-Man has one of the greatest supporting casts in all of comics.
Yeah.
I think it's weird that we either delete them, like Aunt May, or so attached to Peter and MJ. You know what I mean? Like, we are like really attached to that. So I'm surprised we didn't get any mention of other people in his supporting cast, like no Gwen, no Black Cat, no Harry.
They gotta be saving it. They have to be saving it for like post.
For what? Like the fourth Spider-Man movie we haven't
post reboot, post Secret Wars,
post Secret Wars. If we even get like, well, we'll see.
It might not
we'll
even
see.
be Tom Holland. Might not even be Tom Holland. But they have to be saving it because they know the reboot's coming. So it's like, let's not introduce Gwen Stacy just to erase her, right? Let's not introduce Black Cat just to be
I
like,
don't think
to
we're gonna
maybe
get
bring her back.
erased. I don't think we'll get erased.
We'll see.
I have a hard time believing that they would erase not all of it, but a lot of Marvel history. I think
Yeah.
it's going to be like they were here all along. We rewrote history
Yeah.
to they were here all along in the background.
It might be kind of like how Netflix Daredevil happened, but don't think about it too much. It just happened.
Don't think about it too much about how Kingpin got shot in the face and lived, but
By a fucking missile. Also in the Hawkeye show, he got blown up.
is he a mutant? Is he a mutant at this point?
He's no, what is it? He's got heavy bones, or what is
Heavy
it called again?
bones bullshit. Okay, but
Yeah. It's enhanced durability, but there's like a specific. Let me Google it. Hold on.
he's got to be at least a mutant at this point. He's got to be. I know everyone in the comments, you'd be like, what about his Kevlar suit? Okay, yeah, I get it. But also, he ripped a car door off the hinges. He crushes people's heads with his bare hands. He took some sort of super soldier serum or something.
He did something, that's for sure. Yep.
It's like, Jesus Christ, man. But anyways, I'm excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day. I think these script pages are obviously a piece of marketing. I don't think it's real leak. I don't think this is like a real thing, because in the thing there is a moment where it goes where it says, me, very important, number 1, Tom, and then underneath it says, how did Tom get a hold of my script? Okay.
What's going on
this
here?
is like, because it's only describing stuff that we've seen in the trailer, so I question the validity of this, or the virality, or like the truthfulness of this entire thing. But anyways, I'm excited for Spider-Man Brand New Day still. I have a lot of questions, and I mainly, why aren't we expanding this mythos and relying on old villains that aren't your villains? It still bugs me, the fact that Aunt May died from someone from another universe that you can never meet again. That's weird to me.
Yeah. They've definitely
I like the moment
tangled.
though. Like in the theater,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh my God, this is insane. This is incredible. And then I think about it for 2 more seconds. I'm like, he really doesn't know him. Some random guy just went in and killed him, killed his Aunt May. Like, Jesus Christ, it's so odd. Anyways, I'll be excited for it. I think that's it for our show today. Ooh,
I think so.
okay.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, we're ending 2 minutes early, so that means everyone can have a little bit more recess today. Make sure you're following us on all the socials. That's on TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, Blue Sky, and all of that jazz. And we shall see you. Is it gonna play? Is it gonna play? Is it gonna play?
It played on my end.
There we go. Fix it in post. Goodbye.